hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for joining us on another Tuesday night. I am joined by Julian, my co-host, who is the bearded thrift machine, as well as Clara and Amanda. They are co-CEOs of List Perfectly. So if you guys have List Perfectly questions, bring them on, and of course the regular reseller questions as well. I'm gonna let you guys individually introduce yourself if you want to give a little bit of background and tell them about you. So here is Clara.
All right, my name is Clara, and I am one of the co-founders and the co-CEO of List Perfectly. As you can see here, arthritis strong. It was a condition that was early diagnosed to me. It was very painful to sell in multiple channels, and I always wanted to grow my reselling business. Out of desperation with Amanda, we wanted to know how to grow our business, so we decided to build a listing solution that would help me to take my same inventory to different audiences, and at the same time, I could manage inventory effectively and grow my business in the right direction. Having said that, Amanda taught herself coding, and I funded myself List Perfectly with my own money.
Perfect. Amanda.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Amanda, the other co-founder and co-CEO of List Perfectly, and of course, my main motivation was, of course, to help grow our business and make it not so hard on Clara to do listing. Back in that time, I think I was doing a lot of sourcing, and a lot of the listing Clara was doing, and I mean, I just felt her pain, but in general, I don't like to list. It's not my fun. It's not my favorite thing in the world to do. So, List Perfectly, we built it steadily over the years to just make our business function faster, better, take some of the busy work out of it. And then we worked really hard to bring it to all of you because we saw how great it worked for us.
Perfect. All right. Duncan is coming in with his questions, and I will answer. And the ladies are open to discussion. If you have comparison questions you want to ask, please do. Duncan asked the best program to cross post. I know Julian and myself both use List Perfectly. And that's why I promote them, because it's something that I use and it's something I've used for years. But if you guys have comparison questions, bring them on. So Duncan, I'm going to answer that and just say List Perfectly. I know Julian will say the same, and we know what Clara and Amanda will say. So Duncan's second question is, what are some hot tips when using List Perfectly? Look at him. I'm trying to get a special discount code. Duncan. I didn't read it before I put it. Duncan, you're being sneaky.
You should put your code up there. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I have my code. The nurse. I didn't even listen, Amanda. I'm not even thinking of it. The nurse flipper, all one word, is my code, so you can get 30% off all the time using that all the time. So what would you guys say for, like, what would be your hottest tip, like, using List Perfectly to use it, I guess, effectively, or to make more money with it?
Number one would be to take advantage of our onboarding calls, okay? And let us understand what is, because List Perfectly doesn't give you one way to list, cross-post, or manage your inventory, or even your images. So us understanding your listing flow, and then giving you the choices that would fit your business best. That's a way to use List Perfectly correctly. And every reseller journey is different. That's why we always say, contact us, let our team help you. They are resellers. This is a dedicated team. This is not something that I'm hiring a company that it's taking care of other services. No, these are resellers and LP real users. We're here to help you.
Yeah, and I would say definitely evaluate the plan that you're on when you choose List Perfectly. We're very unique in that, we design List Perfectly to work for anybody, whether you're 9 to 90. And early on, we realized not a lot of people like a lot of things to do on a site that helps you with cross-posting. So we kept it very simple. That's why we call it the simple plan. That's our introductory plan. It might not be the right plan for you. It might be the perfect plan for you. But we're unique in that everything is unlimited. So just make sure that you explore all the plans that we have so you find the right one for you. And like Clara said, definitely take advantage of our onboarding calls because they'll help you to see if you're right on the right plan.
Yep.
Yeah, how I use it is probably like not the correct way because I don't cross post a whole lot, but I fly. The only thing I always tell people is like, because speed, I always have this thing about I like to move efficiently, and time is like of the essence when I'm doing stuff. And I can literally fly when I use List Perfectly. That's like the only thing that I'm really good at is moving very quickly. And I know I don't use it because I don't put it into actually List Perfectly or anything. I just grab everything from eBay, but I don't cross post a whole bunch. But when I do, it is just extremely simple, and I am not good at technical stuff. I am like, you gave me like one button I hit, and I'm like pretty much good to go. And that's what y'all did. So it's like a couple more buttons after that, and I'm good to go. And that's how literally how simple it is. It's really it's easy, and I'm pretty bad at stuff. So.
My tip would be don't do what Julian does and use the catalog, because I wish I had started using it earlier, because
true.
it makes it so much easier to delist things. If you're only on 2 platforms, I don't think it's like super important, but we're on 4 platforms. So it's so much easier to go into List Perfectly catalog, and then I can just hit end item or mark as sold, and it takes it down of all of the platforms at the same time. So I would say start by putting the items into the catalog, because then you don't have to go search all these different platforms. You can just use List Perfectly to take them all down. All right. Miss Emily wants to know if you can update from eBay into List Perfectly.
That actually could be all the way around. You can update eBay from List Perfectly, or you can update eBay, for example, okay, if you want, maybe importing that data, or sometimes even merging listings from your LP catalog with eBay active listings.
Yeah, that's correct. Right now, it is a one-way update from LP to any marketplace that you want to update. But the cool thing is that you get to select what you want to update. So rather than clicking update and having it update and potentially overwrite everything, you can just say, I want to update my title, or I want to update the price, whatever it is you want to update. And you get to choose what marketplaces you want that update to apply to.
Perfect. All right. I think that's more for them. Okay, I'm going to read this and then I'll take it down so you guys can stop being Mr. Wilson. Carol wants to know, has anyone had a USPS underpaid fee taken from their funds? She said she did last week, and the package, they said it weighed 7 pounds, 2 ounces, and it was 2 pounds, 10 ounces, and she has a receipt from our post office.
It did happen to me. Yep. And it was the times that happened to me, it was mea culpa.
That's a really big discrepancy, though. I mean, going from 2 pounds to 7,
mm-hmm.
That seems like they weighed a different package, honestly. But yeah, I mean, that has happened to us. And, they rarely would come back to us with the unpaid postage. They would make the buyer pay it. That's usually what happened to us.
Yeah.
I haven't had one that far off. I would definitely go in and see exactly what happened with that, because that's like a huge difference, like 5 pounds. I have had it where they have taken a couple bucks from me, or actually have given me money back when I've messed up, where I said something was heavier than it actually was. And it usually takes a little bit, maybe a couple weeks for all that to filter out. But I've had that happen, just not in that big of a difference. That's pretty big. I would go in and ask, like, hey, what package did y'all send? Because 5 pounds.
Yeah, there's an 800 number. So I had this happen, and it was like a 3 pound versus 35 pound. And there's an 800 number you can call for like eBay's USPS. And if you call them, you can tell them to investigate it. And I actually got my money back. So you can challenge that reading. I would contact eBay for Business on Facebook. That's what I use for everything, and ask them the number to challenge the postal difference, or it might be in the message that they sent you, but there is a way that you can challenge that. I challenged it one time and I did get my money back. Most times, like Julian, mine is it's coming back to me. Like I'll get $1 or 70 cents. Because we might leave 8 ounces and it was 4, so they owe us like $1. But I will tell you guys, especially if you're new, if you see a lot of these charges, get a new scale. I was getting a lot under charges and I was getting charged fees, and I got a new scale and that went away. So if you're new and you're getting a lot of them, I would get a new scale. All right, Miss Sue said she got a Louis Vuitton purse, new with the tags, that was donated to their animal shelter years ago. It wasn't bid on at auction. Where should she list and sell it? She has no receipt.
I would recommend, based on what you're saying, because you have no receipt, okay? But again, you know, it was donated, you know, you have an animal shelter, so that's understandable, right? So I would, I think, you know, you should go with a marketplace that can do a verification of, you know, this item. And in this case, I'm recommending, I'm guessing, you know, Trade, See, Poshmark, any place that can have an authentication process that will protect you against that lack of receipt.
Yeah, Clara, ditto on that. If you don't want to send it in, though, because a lot of sites will make you send it to them for that authentication. Some consignment shops, you could run it down to a consignment shop. They might authenticate it, and they might tell you, hey, if you consign it with us, this is likely what you get.
I actually don't sell stuff like that just because it's just a lot to sell things like that. But if I was going to, like, say I had a Louis Vuitton sitting here and I was like, I want to sell this, I would make sure I get it authenticated somehow. Somehow I'm going to make sure 100% that thing is what it says it is, and then go from there. I mean, there's a ton of sites out there you can do it. You can send it in, you can take pictures, you can run it. But I would definitely, hands down, I would just make sure it is authentic.
Yeah, and I don't do a bunch of stuff like that either. I would agree with the ladies, like, as far as finding somewhere that will authenticate it. I think the real I've heard people talk. Maybe somebody in the chat does sell stuff like this. I know Dale Flippin' Fiasco. She does some higher end purses, so you might want to watch her channel and maybe comment on hers too. Or hopefully somebody in the chat will be able to help, because I don't do that much. The most I've done is like Coach purses, but they weren't like high dollar Coach purses, so I just put them on eBay. Lakes Girl Vintage sent a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. And she says, how do you handle selling items for other people? If you split the profit, how does that work with your 1099 at the end of the year? And she's thanking me. You're welcome.
Actually, I have never done consignment or sold, okay? I would not be the most indicated person because I have never sold anything. What I would do is buy my own inventory and then list it and sell it, but I've never sold for anybody. I would not be the best. I know that, Mandy, you tried it, right?
Yeah, I actually did. So before Clara joined me reselling, I did sell a few things for some people, and it wasn't. I think that the biggest thing was either they would be really surprised at how much they got, or they would be a little disappointed. You know, I think when you don't do this for a living, I think most people think that their stuff is worth like a lot more than, you know, what you could reasonably get for it. But regarding the 1099 at the end of the year, I obviously not an accountant. You want to ask your accountant, but you can, I mean, when you do your taxes, you have legitimate deductions. And as long as you account for everything and you know, in your accounting process, you make sure that you say, this is how much I collected and this is how much went to the actual seller, you're fine.
I actually do not do this. Never have. I don't see that I actually will. If people have come with me and said, hey, can you sell this? I say no, but I'll buy it from you at this much, and then I'll go and then sell it, because that is a lot easier to me. I just find it, I don't get into, again, because you don't know. They might say, hey, I thought it was worth $1,000. And you're like, I got like $100 for it. So, but I will give them an offer on if they come to me, they're like, hey, can you sell this? And they usually never take my offer though, but I've just never done it.
Yeah, so for me, like, I did it with my mom and I just paid her out her half is how I did it. So like I just paid her when it sold. So for me, it would be like I paid that for the inventory. And then my friend that lists for me, if you watch my last reel on Instagram, had a whole closet full of Harley stuff. including leather jackets, hats, brand new belts. From like the 90s to the early 2000s, and she actually lists for me, so she's going to list them. And then I told her 25%, because after all of like my fees and expenses, I figure 50% is about average for my profit. So I'm going to give her 25. I'll keep 25, and I'll just pay her that as like that's what I paid her for the item. So it's almost like I'm paying her after the sale, because I didn't want to lowball her, because she knows how I buy, and she said she wouldn't be offended. But I said no, without me looking up everything, because some things might surprise me. So I'm giving her 25%, so she knows. And I think a lot of people don't realize, like, you've got 20% in fees, you've got shipping supplies, you've got time shipping. So I told her 50% of it, and then we're splitting the 50%, which is 25. Like I said, I'm just going to pay her, but I agree with Amanda. Ask your accountant as far as that. Cause for me, it's just the one person, and I have gotten tons of emails of people wanting me to do this, and I do not want to. I only did it for my mom, and then this is a good friend. Other than that, I'm like Julian, where I'd say I'll buy it from you. It's just a little bit touchier with friends and family. That's why, like, I'd rather let it sell, and then we'll split the profit. But yeah. All right. Here's your dolphin. And Clara is who named the dolphin Charlie.
That's
so
right.
here's
Yay!
Charlie.
Super chat.
I appreciate we saw dolphins. We saw dolphins when we went on the boat yesterday. And of course it's when I was driving, so I couldn't video them. And then when I wasn't driving, there were no dolphins. I'm like, oh,
They were camera shy.
I do want to say real quick, guys, because I just got my taxes. Actually, they were just filed today. My accountant just finished it, and I am happy with what I had to pay. I'm happy with what I had to pay. But he has a free app. I wanted to tell you guys about it. It's called Tax Vault, VAULT, and it's completely free. It's on Google and Apple, and he has it where you can store your 1099. So your 1099 comment there is what made me think of it. And you can store your returns, and your accountant can go in and get all the forms. And my accountant actually designed that app. So if you guys want to check out Tax Vault, it's free, and it'll let you store the images of all of your stuff. And I'll probably talk about my tax a little more, maybe in the video tomorrow, and talk a little bit more about that as well. Christopher Nutter, what is the weirdest find that you flipped for a big profit?
The weirdest find that I flipped for the weirdest. We're talking about the one that I never thought I could sell. Oh, gosh. I have to say, I would have never guessed, okay, that something from the 70s with those pointy disco collars, okay, that is almost like a bib, okay. It looks so weird to me. You got to understand, I was not born here, so I was never exposed to such a 70s style. So when I saw it, I touched it and I listed it. I regret that I let it go for so cheap. And I know for a fact that if I could have listed for triple, I would have sold it. But that was weird. A 70s disco shirt, I'll never forget, was acrylic, okay? Because it felt so artificial and had a weird print. And I was surprised that it sold for $100. And I regret till nowadays that I didn't list it for $300.
You're going to remember this one, Clara. Do you remember the Lilly Pulitzer men's suit from the 70s?
The green one.
Yes. So we found in the thrift store, we found this it's a men's Lilly Pulitzer suit, but it was bizarre looking. I mean, really like loud, very loud green, very loud pattern on both the jacket and the pants. And it was definitely 70s. Some of it, like, it had a half of it was faded. It was old, it's vintage. And we sold it for $500. It was great.
Awesome.
I'm trying to think, like, weird. I don't really do a lot of weird stuff. Every time this question gets me, I'm going to start picking up weird things and just selling them just so I can answer this question. Just to have this answered. I have no idea. I really, I got nothing. I don't really so odd.
Yeah, I don't do a ton of weird. I think probably my roundels, the Chinese roundels I picked up for $1. They're just a piece of fabric and they sold for $1,500 and $1,700. That's probably, yeah, I'm looking. Well, and then the Judith Lieber purses that just sold for the $3,200 and $2,800. Like, these are tiny little purses. Like, so like that one, if you guys missed it, what sold for $3,200. Wow. But I'll show you the roundels because I pulled up my highest to lowest, and they're like faded pieces of fabric, but they're from the 1800s. So that one sold for $1,700 and $25.
That's a little weird.
So, and it's just like a dragon on a piece of fabric. So I think those would probably be mine. Oh, Patty wants to know if List Perfectly has merch.
We do. You can go to our website or social media channels, and then you will see we have a link for merchandise. And of course, if you join List Perfectly, maybe Facebook group, or if you come to our lives, we always give free merch to everybody that participates.
Perfect.
Yeah, but if you do go to the store, we sell it at cost. So we have no markup on it.
Yeah. Perfect. Richard, if you still have, I should have wore it tonight, my Nurse Flipper and Dalton, it will fit t-shirt. Tomorrow's the last day to order. It was only a 2-week window. So if you wanted those shirts, tomorrow's the last day to order. Mr. Juan Man Show, do any of us have experience with collectible trading cards? And if so, do we use, I don't even know what that is. TCG Player. So that must be a site to sell on. I don't know if it's big enough. It might, but I think all of us are going to be no on that one. I'm sorry. Maybe somebody in chat does. But so TCG Player must be a like selling site is what I'm assuming.
So one thing that we could add for one, okay, if TCG Player accepts, okay, listings via CSV upload, you can certainly, okay, upload your listings there. I personally don't have experience selling collectible trading cards, but that's for sure we can help you because we have unlimited CSV downloads of your listings.
Well, I also wanted to point out that I think we did a reseller remix, the event from last year. I think eBay was leaning heavily on talking about selling collectible cards on eBay, and that was something that they were, really zeroing in on as a market that they want people to sell on. So I don't know. I don't do it, but just a tip. Maybe that's a good site to sell on too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Miss Anita, and I think I know the answer, but I will let you ladies answer this. She says she has the lowest level of List Perfectly, so the simple plan. So she's saying if she lists and lists perfectly, will it remove them from all platforms? I'm going to assume she's asking about automatically, though. That's what I'm thinking that underlying question is.
Since nobody's doing it, I'm assuming, it's not a List Perfectly limitation. So I'm assuming, okay, Anita, this is, we're working on it, okay? Mandy's working on it, on the automatic removal of your sold listings without you doing nothing. At the moment, it's semi-automatic. So you're going to come to LP, and let's say you have it published in 11 platforms. You come to LP, you change it to sold, and LP goes and ends it on different platforms, and we give you a confirmation.
But you have to have it in the catalog, Miss Anita. You have to make sure it's in List Perfectly catalog, or that will not work. So you need it there, and then to post out from that. I think my second List Perfectly tutorial video, I show that. But yeah, there's nowhere I know of that has that right now. Here's another List Perfectly question from Miss Carolyn. On List Perfectly, once you mark the item sold, what should we do with the item? Leave the items marked in case we find another, or delete? Clara knows what I do, even though it's not what I should do, and I'm still doing it. I won't lie.
So, Caroline, great question. I'm glad that you're asking this because I want to cry, okay, when I see people deleting listings because we're charging you zero extra for leaving your listings. Whether it's simple, business, or pro, you will never pay extras for your listings. The thing is that by leaving the sold listings, you can control from the LP extension if you want to see those sold listings or not. And by leaving those sold listings, you can see overall, not only give your sales analytics, but also you can download that in a CSV download file so you can give it to your account person and get your taxes down easier. So my answer
See,
is
mine would like that if I did what she says, but I
I love you, Kathy.
you know how you start a habit? You start a habit, that's what you do, and you just keep I know. So I delete mine, but there is a way to not see them. Clara told me last time, and I never did it because my fear was I would have it shown, and then my mom would go put it out there again after it sold, and yeah. But you can't, and that even do you guys have? I'm gonna ask this. So if you're leaving it, like you're saying to export as far as for accountant purposes, does List Perfectly pull in the fees, or is that something that would manually have to be put in?
That is a good question because what you have when you're listing, you have the cost of goods. The values are cost of goods. The asking
Which we
price.
would input.
Exactly. So by the time you sold it, List Perfectly is gathering, right? The sold price, you would be entering the sold price, right? And then you would enter your fees. So if you're being diligent after your sales, that's going to be so quick. And you can even do it on bulk if you want on List Perfectly.
Yeah, so you can put in a ton of information. I don't utilize that. I'm like that with WorthPoint too, guys. You guys ask me WorthPoint, and I use it just for what I need it for, and don't know a lot. So now's the time to ask them because they are going to know more than I do. Penny is asking, is it easy to use? Do you have to put in different info for different platforms?
So Penny, let me tell you, I am the non-technical founder. I feel so empathetic with Julian because I get overwhelmed if I see too many buttons, or I don't like if it is not easy, if it has too many check boxes, because I have arthritis. I can't look. I even have an ergonomic mouse. This is how I kid you not. And I'm in so much pain that for me, even an extra click, okay, imagine an extra click per listing. That makes a difference of not making more pills and selling more, and at the same time have a better quality of life. So for me, I have to tell, because it was built for someone that is, I'm not a technical partner. And on top of that, English is not my first language. So we have a plan that is called the Pro Plan, where Amanda built something in which she's asking me questions. And when I answer, for example, the size or measurements or color, my answers are populated, and she does the professional formatting of the listing, not me. So for me, that was so crucial to have a platform that would help me to list and have a pro look without going so much into the clicking and typing so much.
Yeah, and I just want to demystify how List Perfectly works. What the difference that you're going to see when you list with List Perfectly is you're not publishing listings from List Perfectly. You have total control over your listings over the marketplaces. So what you do is you come to List Perfectly, and the highest plans are going to have the most information on our site. If you list on our site, we're going to ask you more questions there on the Pro Plan versus the Simple, for example. But when you go to Cross Post, we're going to take you to the marketplace where you finish off your listing. And there's two reasons for this. Number one, it's compliant with all marketplace terms of services. Number two, marketplaces are making changes all the time. And we all know about, eBay item specifics. There's different things on Poshmark that are not on Etsy, for example, et cetera, et cetera. And they change all the time. So we're going to bring you over to those sites with the basic information that you fill out, and then you just fill in the blanks, and that's it, and you publish. That's why it's easy. You get to see what your listing looks like before it ever goes live. I can't tell you how many item not as describes are out there when you don't use this method, right? When you are publishing, when something is getting published on your behalf and you never got a chance to see it on the marketplace, and then all of a sudden it sells, and like either something wasn't filled out that was critical, or something was by accident that had nothing to do with your listing. So that's pretty much how it works. You have total control. You fill in whatever you need to on that marketplace. It's very simple.
Julian says thumbs up. So like
Super easy.
From a user endpoint, you do have to put in different info because each of the platforms asks for different stuff. I list on 4 platforms. Etsy is the most annoying, and I have to put the most in, I will tell you, because they have drop downs. Who made it? Where did they make? So you do have to put it in. But like Amanda said, I have the pro version, so as much as possible is copied. So I have to put as little as needed in. So like it even like pro even copies like your dimensions and shipping weight over, which is nice. But it's not like you do nothing. You do have to, fill in a couple of sections. Now on Facebook, it's like, I think you just pick the category and hit next. So Facebook's easy. Etsy, not so much. Posh, I think you have to put it. Posh is only a couple things, like the original price, which I always put 0 on Posh for my original price. But so there are going to be different ones depending on the platform. And you wants to know, well, I'm perfectly going to have a mobile solution across post with Android and iOS.
Cody, we already have it, okay? Any phone, Android, iPhone, tablet, okay? Simply with any browser, you can access List Perfectly Mobile. You can do 90% from LP Mobile. The only thing you can't do is cross-post and mark sold. The rest can be done.
Yeah, and about cross-posting from a phone, I can't tell you how many people we onboard all the time that come from solutions that try to do this from the phone, and it's a hot mess, honestly. And the reason is, it's simply because it's the phone wasn't really designed to be a cross poster. Maybe in the future, maybe it'll be better, but if List Perfectly can take some of the work out of the cross posting, we absolutely will. But we're very committed to you remaining in terms of service. We're committed to your listings being accurate. We're committed to a lot of things, and maybe in the future we could look into that.
And I'll say that, like, if you want a mobile solution, I just bought a cheap $200 Chromebook, and Chromebook will work. So like you can buy like a cheap little like 10-inch, and you can bring that laptop and do cross posting. Like if you want to do it on the go. When I was still working in nursing, that's what I did. Is I brought, and I don't even know where I should give that thing away to one of you guys because I don't use it. If I can, I don't even know where it's at. But I just bought a little 10-inch, like simple, because all you really need is Wi-Fi and the browser, and then you can go and do it on the go. So for me, that was a good solution since I couldn't from the phone, and I didn't want to like add extensions onto like the work hospital computers. All right. Miss Emily wants to know if you guys will be adding more platforms to List Perfectly.
Yes, and yes, and yes. Coming soon. Amanda is working on it. Amanda, any teasers? No, she'd be like, no. Look at her putting the poker face.
Yeah.
Look at her. Okay, let's see. Poker.
I'm a poker face for sure. Yeah. We love to surprise our members with what's coming next.
Patricia wants to know how she gets an onboarding call. She said she's a new client. Thank you for using my code. I appreciate it. But she wants to know how she sets up an onboarding call. She just started using List Perfectly.
Okay, I'm gonna try to do this without Amanda. Okay, bear with me that Amanda is always upgrading. Okay, this is a new feature and List Perfectly. So select Contact Us, and then from Contact Us we go to LP account, and then we can set up an onboarding call. We have one of the options is set up the onboarding call.
Yeah, you're pretty close. I think you said it. Quick Start Guide. You go to the Quick Start Guide. It's one of the options right there. And I can't recommend the Quick Start Guide enough. It has so much in there. So if you're just even if you've been with LP for a long time,
yes,
you're probably going to learn something new in that Quick Start Guide. It's interactive. So you can just pick a topic and spend 5 minutes and probably, learn something new.
Perfect. Terry's wanting to know, and I think Terry either messaged or emailed me about this. They want to know, so they're using InkFrog for like templates, and I don't use InkFrog and I don't use templates, so I could not help with this. So I suggested they come to ask you guys. So they want to know if List Perfectly can do a couple of things InkFrog does well, which I'm assuming they're talking about templates, or is there any integration with, the other important thing, they were asking if they could schedule listings to go out. I guess because InkFrog allows you, without having to pay like the eBay fee, they allow you to schedule the listings to start.
I'm going to defer to Mandy. You want to go for this one? Is
Yeah,
this your favorite?
yeah.
I know this is Amanda's favorite. Okay, look, she's coming out of her, because she did such a research on InkFrog. You got to understand, Mandy taught herself coding. So she researched every solution out there. Yeah. She lifted every rock, okay?
Yeah, this comes back to the idea that, okay, so I know a little bit about InkFrog. I know a little bit about everything out there. And InkFrog is similar to a lot of services where you fill out every single thing about your listing on their site, right? And then you hit publish and they send it live. And, they do have templates. So do we. We have templates as well. And our Pro Plan templates are the best templates. Like, we're actually going to go even deeper than InkFrog does, and we're going to help you fill out the description box. But with formatting, you fill in like your line item details, and we're going to format that into a very neat looking description, very professional. You have full control over that too. You have a drag and drop system where you design your ideal description the way you want it. So I'm actually going to say our templates are better than InkFrog. The one thing that you're missing using InkFrog is you're not able to take advantage of eBay's AI, which makes it even faster to list. Like, they've come a long way. So when you create a title that's really well, you create your listing in List Perfectly first, you send it over to eBay, you've got that listing done in seconds. And so speaking to the scheduling part, what we always recommend people do is use eBay Scheduler, but make it live before the scheduler does. So you don't pay the 10 cents. The eBay allows you to put things in schedule, but then make them live before the date. So what I'm hearing is people are using that instead of drafts now as well on eBay, because it's more effective. And worst case scenario, like, I know a lot of people will bank them, and every day they'll release a few. But worst case scenario, if you go live before you have a chance to take them out, it's a small amount of money, but it's bank listings. The advantage is, once again, you're not pushing a listing from their platform. You're able to fill out every item specific that you want to on eBay. And unfortunately, a lot of these other systems, they don't have access to all the item specifics. I mean, you look at some of them on eBay, there's like 80 deep, but if you fill them out, you might have a much better chance of getting a higher sell-through on your item.
Yeah. Okay, who knows the list? They want to know. Kathleen says she doesn't want to sell on eBay. I know I'm very eBay heavy because that is my primary platform, but I think most of the stuff that I go over and what's selling would work for the other platforms. So who knows all of the platforms that you guys have? Clara?
Of course. So we have naturally eBay, but then we have Facebook, Poshmark, Mercari, Kitizen, Shopify, Instagram, Tracy, Grail, Depop, and Etsy. And of course, LP.
I might have to check out like Instagram. I'd like to know if anybody in the audience is using like Instagram Shop. Because I've already got my listings in there.
Don't forget that this goes to Instagram profiles. Even if you don't have an Instagram business account or shop, okay, you can still leverage, okay, these simple personal accounts to do social commerce. I cannot emphasize enough. It's free. Go do it, okay? It works. It works.
All right. Savvy wants to know how much account access does List Perfectly have? Like how much? But you're signing in, right?
Yeah.
We love it. Okay, I'm coming out of my skin. No, I'm taking this one. Savvy, you know how many of your passwords and user IDs I need and how much of your IP address and for you to sign my long-term? None of that. Okay, I don't need anything of that. List Perfectly is a desktop application that is mobile friendly. And at the same time, one of the parts of our technology is a Google Chrome extension that will collect that data and connect with different marketplaces so we don't have to invade your privacy. And plus, I don't want to have your user IDs or I don't want to have passwords. No, I have enough. Okay, I have enough things, okay, to worry about, okay?
Yeah, we don't need any of that. You sign in on your own, and List Perfectly simply won't work if you're not signed into the marketplace, and that's it. It's that simple. We value your privacy, we value your security, and we do not collect your user IDs and passwords.
Yeah. Patricia, I think this is what we were talking about earlier. So she can list in her catalog from her phone and then go to her computer to cross-post, right? So the only thing you can't do on the phone is cross-post or delist, and that's what you would need the computer for.
That's right. But one I want to clarify, okay, because we have many heavy users of List Perfectly. I get it, Patricia, you might not be a heavy user, but the only thing I ask you, can you please, because you can access List Perfectly, your account LP in different devices, just don't access mobile and desktop at the same time and try to, work on both, let's say the same listing at the same time from different devices. That's one recommendation.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's with any, if you have two computers, don't do the same exact listing and have two windows open. I mean, even on the same computer, I've seen it where people will have two windows open of the same listing and they keep overwriting details because they're using two windows for the same exact listing.
Exactly.
That's not going to work.
Perfect. Eclectic Elements wants to know, is Cherish going to be added?
Oh, it's on the wish list.
I think that's the
one
bottom line.
Yes, I know. I like Cherry. So yes, you can count on it. We're working on it. There is no ETA. We can't tell you what's coming first, but that's one thing that I can tell you is that we always deliver in what we promise.
Well, and we encourage all members to submit their fee in the feature request. We even have a section, is there a marketplace that you would like List Perfectly to integrate with? And we look at that. That's what helps us determine what's next. So please take advantage of that.
Julian, did you read this in the chat from Carol
saying,
okay. So what they saying they refunded, she called the post office. Like I was saying, is that what that was? Like when I was talking about them refunding the difference? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't have an issue when I challenged it. I don't think like that if you challenge it, that they're going to really have an issue with it. Kathleen there is asking if there are services that will list your items for you, and there are.
Yes.
Oh, what are the names? I don't know if somebody in chat. I don't do it. I know Clay can if he's in here. Clay uses one of them. Do you know any? what there are ones you send them pictures and then they
Yeah,
do
I know
everything.
what you're talking
for you,
about.
but
Yeah, I don't use them.
Clara, Amanda, do you know the names of those things? I don't know the names of them.
I'm watching the chat. Nobody's saying
Well,
anything.
yeah, unfortunately, you know, we don't recommend. We don't have any recommendations because we've tried, and it's been tough to find really good services.
It's
That's
out
all.
there, but we wouldn't recommend it. We were
No.
kind of, and this is not us, okay? This is
It
from our
scares
community.
me. Like, it scares me because, like, they're doing stuff without seeing your item. And for me, most of them, you have to send photos in of your item. And to me, the hardest part of listing is the photographing. So I'm like, if I already did the photographing, it's really
That's
easy
the
to hit
hard
sell
part.
similar and just list it
Yeah.
myself.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
I just
somebody's
want to make
saying
it.
hammock.
Yeah,
But
just
I
be
mean,
careful.
I
Be
think
careful.
if you take the if you take the time to photograph them, it really, if you get efficient at listing, it's not going to be that much more than you doing it yourself. Let's see. And I see Kathleen asking again. She's asking Doug how to find someone to buy out items or list them for me. So I think this is a problem that a lot of resellers get, or people who are watching like myself and Julian online, and you buy all this stuff and then you realize it's actual work. And it's a lot of work. And so I get emails regularly of people that are like, I have all this stuff. What do I do with it? And it's really hard because, like, me as a reseller, if I saw something I was interested in, I'm going to offer you 10% of what I think I can get. That's where I like to buy. So unless you were a very good negotiator, a very good buyer, you're probably going to lose money when you're selling it to another reseller.
Yep.
So then you're going to get into a lot of work the other way if you want to do a yard sale or go to the flea market. And it's really easy to buy, and people buy all this stuff and then they're like, crap, I got to list it. I will tell you from someone who does have people who work for them listing, I only have family and friends because I have almost $200,000 in inventory, and it would be, and that's listed. Who knows what I have unlisted? A lot. So for me, it's a big trust thing. And I did try to hire like outside of friends and family, and people came and they saw that it is work and they never came back. So I paid 4 people to train them that never came back. So I will tell you from experience, it's not easy. It hopefully, or maybe you have like a friend or family member, but you got to be very careful as far as paying all the time, because again, tax laws in different states are different. In Florida, I cannot pay them on a 1099 basis as a contractor because it's my items they're using, it's my stuff, and I have to pay them on payroll. I cannot pay them a 1099. So you need to be very, very careful, because when you're doing that, you might get into needing a payroll service.
Yep.
And you're going to be paying Social Security for them. You're going to be paying a part of their federal income tax. And it's a lot to think of. And that's like a bigger business move. Like, we just changed to being incorporated, and it's not as easy as let me go pay somebody a couple of bucks to list. There might be a few states that will still allow you to 1099, but I will tell you, Florida is not one. And I think that most states are not. So you're looking at a lot of complicated things. And if you don't have a big business and a lot, like we're getting 15 to 20,000 a month in sales. So yeah, I can pay out, several hundred a week for people to list for me. But do you have that money and that capital to pay someone to list for you that might not sell for 2 months? So I'm paid, like this week I paid out $600. I motivated. So I paid out over $600 this week, but that stuff might not sell for a couple of months. So you have to realize you're going to be paying them to list, and it might be months before that money comes back in. So there's a lot to take into consideration when you're doing that. I would love to say it was really easy, but it's not. And I don't want to lead anybody to think it is.
Yeah. You know what? I would just love to share our experience with when we did hire people. It was always with the idea that they would also ship for us, right? So at that point, it really makes it's a better business decision if you're going to hire somebody than to just list, because there's a whole lot in your reseller business that you might need help with. Like when we go out sourcing, it'd be great to have somebody do the shipping, or, you know, maybe answer some questions, or, you know, whatever that might be. There are other things that that person can help you do where, you know, it's, while a virtual assistant is nice, you know, they can't take care of all aspects of your business like hiring somebody could.
Yeah. And I let go the listing. I still look over everything. They only put them into drafts. I still edit my titles. I'm the one that does pricing. So I still have to put time into that, because like for me, I think I sell so much because I'm really good at keywords. So I'm not going to just let titles fly out there. And then I'm also good at like the researching part of it. So unless it was like 100 handkerchiefs that I knew these are all $15, okay, here go, I wouldn't be comfortable letting someone have the total aspect of it. And I haven't let shipping go. I will let my husband ship, but other than that, I don't. But that would definitely be a goal of mine, would be to have someone who could run everything. But once you do that, you get into the hard part of, are they going to want to work for you getting paid when they now know how to resell and they could go have their own business and make probably more money than you're paying them? So it's a fine line. If you get somebody over motivated, and I've heard this story a lot, is I taught them everything they knew and now they're doing what I do. And I say good for them. Like, I'm glad they're motivated, but that's where you might move through. If you get really motivated people, they're going to learn and they're going to leave. I mean, that's like, if you hired me and I learned it, I'm like, I can do this by myself. Bye. So I think it would be really hard, because if you get unmotivated people, how hard are they going to work? You know, it's a fine line with reselling, because if they learn and they're motivated, they're going to go do what you're doing. And I'm not mad if they do that. Like, I would love if my daughter would go start buying stuff and reselling it, but she doesn't. She's very money motivated, but not money motivated enough to go and do all of this by herself. And that's almost what you need, is somebody that wants to make that money, but don't want to deal with like the business aspect. But it's going to be hard to find that person. It's going to be hard.
You know how I resolved that problem? And we all have it around the block. I resolve it very simple. Look for college kids, undergraduated. They still have like halfway on their career, and just neighborhood kids. And literally they're motivated. They know how to use laptops. They know how to use software. They know how to measure weight. They know the imperial system, which is the measuring, the pounds. So that for me worked very well. Anytime I got away from that formula and I tried maybe someone that I thought it, like you said, it would be very works well independently, right? Minimum supervision. Okay, actually they work too well independently and they really don't need any of my supervision, and now they're very successful on their own. So that's how I resolved that issue. And then you have these college kids that they're still telling me thank you. So it was a big win-win for me to resolve that problem.
Yeah. And that makes sense. But like with that though, and I mean, Clara, you can tell me if I'm wrong though, you're revolving. So like somebody's going to be there for a year, maybe two, and then they're going to move on. So you're constantly replacing.
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if anybody but me can answer this. I will let you guys, if you
know
how.
No. Amanda needs to, okay, I'm still upset at you. The freaking, oh my God, she could buy the biggest, you gotta understand, Amanda live in Hollywood, okay? And she could buy the biggest movie posters, Mandy, go.
Framed.
Gray hair.
Me too. I got one back there. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's a Picasso poster frame, but it's listed for $1,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. These were signed. They were signed. So, you really did want to go the extra mile to ship the big package. And, half the time, like I've seen where people will go out and buy like wooden crates to ship them. I never did that. I would make my own boxes. That's what I would do. I would just like get in there, size it up, get some it depends on what you're shipping. Sometimes you can use packing peanuts, but most of the time, no, you want to get like foam corners and do it right, really pack it right. But yeah, I mean, I would always make my own boxes. Sometimes the TV boxes that they sell.
That's what I use. Yeah, I use the TV boxes, and anything that comes to me in a big box. Like I get big bags of dog food from Amazon because we get big. I almost get it because I get the big flat boxes, which aren't cheap. They aren't cheap. And then I do have the corners. You can buy. I bought a box of like 100 cardboard corners to go on the corners and protect them. And then I wrap them with bubble wrap, just like I do anything else. And I haven't had any issues with anything getting there. I don't know the answer to this. Angie's asking, is there a limit of the number of listings per month? She said she remembers more listings costing more, but she's not seeing it anymore.
Angie, I love it. Thank you for bringing this up. Okay, Angie, we have never increased prices of List Perfectly. If anything, LP became cheaper. Why? Because now the person that saves in LP or cross post, let's say the person that saves 10,000 with the person that saves 100 pays the same. And the person that cross posts 10,000 and the person that cross posts 100 is the same. Back in the day, way back when, okay, that was like 2.5 years ago, we used to charge extra if you wanted to save your listings in LP. And then we went what we call truly unlimited, everything unlimited, even the amount of stores that you have in the same marketplace or different marketplace, every plan, nothing extra.
Perfect. Carolyn says she has the business plan and the free background removal was just added. I saw though, Clara, aren't you doing extra background removal is it your birthday?
Yes. Everybody gets free background remover. For
the month of June. I just want to clarify that. We are, this is Clara's birthday gift. Happy birthday, Clara. She wanted to give a big thank you to all LP members and, offer the free background removal. And it is free for all plans. The limit is 300 for business plan. But as of July 1st, that will no longer be there unless Clara extends her birthday gift.
100 for simple, 300 for business, and 2,000 for pro. And 2,000.
Now, is that how many photos, or is that how many listings?
How many background removers?
Photos.
Yes,
photos.
Okay.
Yes.
And I will tell you guys, if you list heavy like me, I still pay for photo room because I can batch do 50 at a time. So like for me, I would use that up really, really fast. So I would say I would still do photo room. If you're listing a lot, like I'm probably going to list 200 to 300 listings this week, which is 1,500 photos that we're editing. And I actually buy photo room for all of my listers for the year. That's how much because we use it. Yeah. I don't know the answer to this either. Shelly wants to know, when will List Perfectly be available in Canada?
That's been asked a lot.
I promise before the end of the year, I don't know how I'm going to make this happen. Okay. I might be spending New Year's and Christmas in Canada. Okay. But certainly we have committed ourselves with Amanda. We understand the need. I must receive like 20 questions a day. When will you be in Canada? We get it. Okay. So we promise to go as soon as possible. We got to do it the right way. Right, Mandy?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's, It's a big deal. We don't want to just be like, yeah, Canada, come on over. We'll figure out how to make it. We really, we take it very seriously when we say that we support something, and we want to make sure it's going to work really well for you in Canada before we say we offer services in Canada.
Mm-hmm. And I want to test it myself in Canada.
Got to go to Canada on a business trip just to see if this works. I don't know. I think this will probably be best answered by me. Sunflowers at the Ocean is saying, any tips for dealing with a problem seller on HiBid? They offered shipping but are dragging their feet, and it's been over a month. I have had some of them take like 6 weeks to ship to me. So it does happen. Most of those auctions, for the most part, do not want to ship to you. It's a pain in their butt. I'm not going to lie. They prefer local pickup. The one that took 6 weeks, I had said to myself, okay, I'm going to give them like another week. I would call them and say, look, if this isn't shipped in a week, I'm going to do a chargeback on my credit card, and just put your foot down, because if you don't get your merchandise, then, you know, you're kind of out of luck. So I would call them, ask them again. I called mine like 3 times, and finally they shipped it. And it only happened to me once. So it's not regular, but I will tell you 2 to 4 weeks is regular on HiBid, because these are high volume auctions, and I'm telling you, most of them really do not want to ship. They want you to come and pick up locally. So I would give them one more phone call, and then I would consider doing a chargeback on the credit card. But HiBid shipping, you got to be patient, because some have it shipped out the next day, and then other ones are just like you're saying, and they take forever to ship. I'm going to grab this one too. Alsam Vintage. Have you had another seller screenshot your photos and use them on your listing? It's weird seeing my hands holding their item. I want to tell you guys, soon as you upload your listing to eBay or another platform, they own your photos. So they can take your photos and make them their stock catalog photos. That is in the agreement that you sign. So it's not necessarily against the rules for those people to use your pictures. Just beware of that. It sucks. Is it ethical of them to do? Probably not. Is it legal for them to do? Probably so. Now, copyrighted manufacturers' photos are a whole different story, but your photos are owned by eBay as soon as you upload them there. And they tell you, like, they might use your photograph as their catalog. You know how like a picture pops up of a DVD? Yep. Well, if you have a vintage item, your picture might be the catalog picture if somebody else comes and lists that. And eBay will offer for them to use your photograph in that situation. Clara, do you want to go over this again? Cindy's asking again why not to delete this. Why you're not supposed to do what Kat does. Clara will tell you.
You could, and it's up to you, yes, because you could have a strategic reason, because you might have overhead or a bigger team. But don't forget that even though you might have the situation of Kat, okay, you still have the control setting in List Perfectly that you can hide on the extension or show the sold listings. And the reason we recommend not to delete listing is A, we don't charge you extra for saving your listings in List Perfectly. B, because you can start itemizing your expenses, not only when you list it with cost of goods, but then maybe when you sold out, you know, with fees, shipping, and all that stuff that your accountant, that maybe not only your accountant, maybe your team, and the things that will help you to grow your business in the right direction, because analytics doesn't cost anything extra with List Perfectly. And even if you're in the simple plan, List Perfectly is a software to help you grow your business. So you gotta think you're gonna be on the business and pro, because you're gonna grow. So you need that data to grow in the right direction. That's just my advice, Cindy.
Yeah, and it is handy to have. I can't tell you how many times we would be listing and we'd come across something that sold before, and we'd go to our catalog and there it was, and we just change a couple of small things on it. Listing was done in like 5 seconds.
Yeah. Greg's asking, can currently listed item on eBay be cross-listed? Yes. And what I do is I list on eBay and then I copy it into the List Perfectly catalog so it's all centralized. And then I put it out to the platforms. That way it's in their catalog. Because if it's in their catalog, you can delete it when it sells, which brings up the next question. Isn't there a possibility of an item mistakenly being sold twice when doing multiple listings if you don't mark it sold soon enough?
Yeah, that's an
Yes.
absolutely, especially when because it's a growth software, Valerie, there is a possibility. It's not very frequent that you're going to have, that item selling, okay, concurrently or simultaneously in multiple platforms, in years, okay, that we've been doing this. It would happen in what is it, 5,000 active listings, okay? It might happen, okay, maybe with a highly wanted item, it might happen, but that's why List Perfectly gives you the control to send different prices and different values to different marketplaces so you can control, okay, what you're growing on different marketplaces and see where your product should be selling better.
Yeah, that happened to us one time, Clara. If you remember, we got a super rare sweater. We had no idea this was such a hot item. And, this was back before List Perfectly. This was with our cross-listing tool we were using with the Clothing Vault. We pushed publish on 3 different marketplaces, and I'm not kidding. In 15 seconds, it sold everywhere we cross-listed. 15 seconds. Now, even if we had that control on List Perfectly, like there's nothing we could, 15 seconds, it's like really ridiculous.
Yeah, you wouldn't be that fast.
No, but it could happen. So like Clara says, if you have hot items, you might just want to cross-post them to a single marketplace, see how they do, and then cross-post them to others. Give them like a couple days and see what happens.
Exactly.
Yeah, for me, that's almost how I do it. But because my mom cross posts for me, most of the time my items are listed a day to 3 days on eBay before they get cross posted out. And some of them do sell. I would recommend to you, if eBay is one of your platforms, that you do not cancel your eBay listing, because they are the platform that will penalize you the most. Even if it sells for more somewhere else, I would still cancel that, because eBay, if you go below standard, your listings are going to get suppressed and you're going to be penalized. So I would, and the other platforms, Facebook allows 10% cancellation. Poshmark has no rules. It's like the wild, wild west. I had 75% cancellation. I had to cancel myself. They didn't stop me. And now what I do is, if it sells somewhere else, I immediately end it on eBay, like on my phone if I'm out. And then every morning I go into the List Perfectly catalog and I end everything. So I do it once a day. And I've had 2 this month. They were both Harley pens that sold on Facebook and eBay, and I canceled Facebook. So it happens, and now you have to think 2 items out of 5,000 I have listed. So the percent's way less than 1% that happens, unless, like they said, it's something really, really popular, and then you're kind of stuck. But if eBay is one of those platforms, I would not cancel eBay, because they will penalize you. Miss Angie's asking the process of ending an item on multiple platforms. Angie, I want to tell you my second List Perfectly video. It's the most recent one. I walk you through step by step and screen share how to do that. So if you YouTube search the Nurse Flipper List Perfectly, you'll see a video screen sharing it. It's kind of like verbally, I don't think you'll get as much out of it as seeing like the screen share ending it. Then it will be like better. Paula's asking if any of us are using Whatnot. I don't think any of us on here are. I think, Julian, have you thought more on it or not?
Yeah, I probably will end up, having them or do the thing you did. You get to go talk to them or whatnot. Get that? And then I'll probably go ahead and do 1 or 2. Give it a shot.
And
I have so much
Might,
inventory. Yeah.
But I'm still on the fence. I am approved. I have done my onboarding. I just don't. I don't know that realistically that I have the time to commit to it. And if I do it, I would want to do it at least once a week in order to build it up. So I'm still on the fence, and I've been approved for over a month, and I haven't taken that leap. So I know Yvonne Thrifty Rich is doing Whatnot. Dom Primetime Treasure is doing it. So a few of my friends are doing it. I just don't know if like my life right now has room for Whatnot. I don't know if it does. And until that's kind of like them saying in Canada they want to be like ready to go. Well, I want to know that I can go into this and fully do it and do it right if I'm going to start it. And I don't feel confident that I could at this point. Does cross posting flood the market with the same item?
No, actually, what it floods the market is, with your item being exposed to a different audience. That's the importance of not having these automated solutions that are just, flooding maybe, without logic or without structure. Imagine it's just the same item that you have just exposed to different audiences. It's a win-win situation for you as a seller.
Yeah, and especially if you sell pre-owned items, every item at that point is unique. The condition of your item would be different than the condition of someone else's. Maybe the size is different. Maybe, there's a lot of, especially when you get into reselling pre-owned, there's so much variation. There's minimal risk of flooding the market.
Yeah, and the different audience there is really what it is. You're just taking your place because there's different audiences on different platforms there. So definitely not going to flood the market with that.
Yeah, and I agree 100% because like my Etsy stuff sells 15 and 20% higher than eBay. If those people were on eBay, they would buy it on eBay for cheaper, I'm sure.
They'd be like, wow, this is cheaper over here.
True.
Yeah. So I think like as sellers, we might look on different platforms, but I think your typical buyer is probably going to have their favorite marketplace that they're using for shopping. And I think you're hitting very, very different audiences. There is Clay, who I was talking about earlier. He said he did use Sellhound at one point, but he's saying Brian, who is a good friend of his, taught him to do a better title than they could and to list quicker. So it looks like Clay has gotten away from having somebody do his listings for him, which is good. Hold on. I'm scrolling.
Oh, since you're scrolling, okay. And a resource for resellers regarding titles, don't forget eBay Seller School. They have an incredible algorithm to build titles. We just shared that on the last live that we did on List Perfectly YouTube channel. It's just an incredible resource. They keep it so simple.
I'm like, yeah, so Marsha's saying she wouldn't trust anyone to package and ship a $2,000, but that's where it goes to like, I would love for my daughter to like, and she's coming a couple times when I'm shipping and it's I'm like, you really want to pay attention to that? Like, I would love that, but realistically, I don't think that'll happen. But yeah, it's hard to let it go. Like we just, like the purses we shipped out were $6,000 in 2 purses. So like that would be very hard to let somebody else ship. Yeah. Jeremy is asking, what's your opinion of the freebie flip?
Oh, the freebie flip. So is that flip the cross-posting, the new cross-posting service, I'm assuming? In freebie. Yes. Well, you get what you pay for, okay? First of all, it's not built by reseller, all right? So you get what you pay for. So number one thing I learned as an immigrant that I came here only 20 years ago, nothing in America is free. You will pay for it in the front or in the back. Okay, sorry, it's the reality. And then, it's not built from resellers. So it's just people that are trying to make a business out of understanding our industry. Then they go and build something. Then they have to receive feedback, okay, from real resellers so they can understand better how to improve their services to our community.
Yeah, it's sort of like I onboard people all the time coming from free services. And I think if you run a business, it's perfectly fine to have tools for your business that work for your business, actually simplify your life. I think that if you're running your business based on what you can do for free, that's that's up to you. I mean, however you want to run your business, but for me, I've always preferred to use tools that make my business life simpler and easier, and I'm willing to pay for that.
And I agree 100%. I don't know. I've never tried Flip, but I will tell you this. I will pay for convenience and stuff that works. That is like the main thing. And when you try to like always, oh, and I hear that like, oh, I can get this for free. And even if it's not Flip or some other things, I'm always like, but does it work? Is it more time because it's something else is going to go wrong with it? And we all know nothing is free. So something's going to happen there. So I'm a big fan of paying. That's why I also use WorthPoint. I think it's important that people are like, there's a lot of time, they're like, well, there's a lot of stuff out there you can find it. I'm like, yeah, but how much time does it take? WorthPoint, I can find it. It takes me half a second to find it. Same with List Perfectly. I list quickly with you because it's very easy, it's good, and then I'm okay to pay it because it works. So I've never tried that, but I probably honestly won't.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. And I think if you watch me a long time, I'm all about paying for stuff that makes my business run smoother, that makes it faster, that makes it easier. And I meant to highlight it earlier, and I think it might have even been Duncan saying sponsored by List Perfectly. This is not sponsored by List Perfectly. I like these ladies. That's why I asked them on. They are not paying me. I am not paying them. I like them. They have a reseller background. I enjoyed chatting with them. Clara was on. It went very well. So it's not sponsored. It's not sponsored at all. I have not tried Flip because, like Julian said, I have something that works for me. I am okay paying for it because the returns are much greater than what I am paying. And I'm not going to go try and, I get that you want your business costs to be lower, especially when you're new, but time is money. And I have had at least 2 or 3 people tell me they tried Flip. I have not tried it, said it was very glitchy. It took a long time, and they came over to List Perfectly. If you want to try it. But that's just like WorthPoint. If you don't need it and you're not finding one-off items that are on it, then don't get it. But if you keep running into WorthPoint in your research over and over and over, then you probably need it. And that's what made me, I got the free trial, and then almost every day I'm hitting WorthPoint, sign in to see the and I'm like, okay, I need this service. And I still, even for the antique license plates, there might not be some on eBay because I have them as old as 1919, but I am finding them in WorthPoint on the 10-year history. So I know what to charge for them. And it's crazy because some from 1919 are selling for $30 and some are selling for $100. So I'm researching every single license plate. So that's why, for me, just because of the fact that I already have stuff that I use, and everything I talk to you guys about is stuff I use. So you're not going to see me switch over. And I will tell you, other cross-posting services have come to me and tried to pay me, and I've told them no. Because I like what I'm using, and I'm not going to bring something to you guys that I don't use and that I don't believe in. I want to highlight this because Terry said non-compete agreements cover that issue. I would never hold somebody back or give them a non-compete agreement. If they are motivated and want to go have their own business, I'm happy for them. And I get stuff from people that are mad about that. And I want everybody to succeed. So I might be a little perturbed because I lost a worker, but overall I would be happy because somebody would be bettering their life by starting their own business. And that's one of my big things about sharing everything, because I get the people that are so pissed off at me that I'm ruining everything. And I am making more competition for myself. That's exactly what I'm doing. If I teach you to be good, then you are competing against me. But I think there's enough buyers, enough merchandise, enough seller.
Yeah.
Like there's plenty of room in this world for all of us to do well. And I think we should help each other, not hold each other down. So yeah, that's my big thing. So I take the heat when it comes to that. And, you know, I'm here to help people. And if people don't like it, then, you know, they don't like it. Mr. Jeremy wants to know, do you ever intend to include a Poshmark closet sharer thing?
Yes, yes, yes. Coming, it's coming, and it's gonna be perfect. It's gonna be great. I can't wait. It's something that I'm really looking forward. I am seeing what these automated solutions are doing to Poshmark, and it makes me upset, flooding the marketplace with defective, low quality listings. It's just ridiculous. You know, again, you know, I really want to make sure, you know, we do reselling, especially when it comes to Poshmark right now. The feedback, the common feedback is that these sharing tools, you see, they're spending $50 and they're not working. People are not selling more on Poshmark, and it really worries me. That it takes a little. I get a little insomnia because Manish and Tracy worked so freaking hard for building that marketplace. It was a different journey than eBay, than Facebook Marketplace. That's all I want to say, you know. So we're really looking forward to provide an incredible. So Mandy we see eye to eye. I'll leave it up to you, Mandy, but I am so excited about what Mandy is building.
Yeah, I mean, no ETA, but yeah, it is definitely something that we are working toward.
Tammy, I am dropping a link right now. My video is pretty much a list perfectly for dummies. My first one I did is step-by-step screen share on all the platforms. So I just dropped that link in the chat. So click that and save it for later. I did that video. I'm going to look now. I did that video actually almost a year ago. I did it in August of 2021. And the way we do it is still the same. And it's literally walking you through step by step. So that should help.
One more thing I wanted to share. We have a listing 101, if you can make it. And we put in List Perfectly, we put banner messages up when we have any kind of live demos going on. Definitely take advantage of that. Take advantage of the quick start guide. In addition to Kat's videos, you'll find more videos there. Probably like 5 minutes could save your life, or just reach out to us.
It's pretty simple. And once you get it, like it will be easy. Jeremy wants to know, do you know how far away the magical auto delist tool might
Poker
be?
Face, go. The hot seat is for you, Poker Face.
Well, we are working on very, very hard on it. And I'll tell you what, it is, there's a reason why this is a difficult problem to solve. And, it is something that we're doing step by step. We are launching tools that will help with this, but we're really shooting hard to get something in the works pretty quickly.
Okay, perfect.
When she said pretty quickly, she means it.
Yeah, we're 100% focused on it.
Perfect.
Oh, look at doing it wrong.
Jeremy, I will tell you, I know there's a Facebook group. I'm a member of their Facebook group. There's a List Perfectly Facebook group. Do you guys have a Discord or anything? They're on Instagram too. Is there anything else that you guys have as far as for List Perfectly?
Yes, so we have Facebook pages, Facebook group, Instagram, obviously YouTube, and now I'm being very fun on TikTok. Oh, I thought I wouldn't like it. It's fun, Kat. I'm having fun, Julian.
Yeah, it is fun. It's
Laura.
Fun.
Yeah, it'll suck you in. Yeah, TikToks. Yeah.
Yeah, like I just have been doing, because I've been doing reels. So you guys will notice if you follow me on Instagram, and I'm trying. I didn't today because my back and shoulders are killing me, which is sad. I didn't even feel like doing a 1-minute video, but I've been trying to do little short videos on what I sell on the days I don't make a what sold video, and uploading those to my reels, to Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. So if you're on all three, I'm sorry, I'm flooding you with like the same video, but that is almost like the different platforms, and it's a really different audience from YouTube to Instagram to TikTok, and it's different people. So that's why I'm putting it everywhere. Laura, we kind of went over this a little bit earlier. I was saying it's really easy to buy. $1 per listing. It's not bad, but what are you going to get for it? And I think you're going to find that it's not as easy as you think. And you want to be careful with like item not as described. They're not seeing it. And most of your VAs, their primary language is not going to be English. So it's going to be hard. I will tell you, before I started using List Perfectly, I was using Fiverr to pay people to cross post for me before I started using List Perfectly. And what got me was they would put the weight totally wrong. Like they would have 5 pounds on something that was like 5 ounces. So I think like you could try it if you want to try it, but guys, if you buy a ton of stuff, there's no easy way out. It's going to be a lot of work to list it. I know I'm dealing with that myself right now and trying to like make myself not buy things, like seriously focusing on it, because I have thousands of dollars of inventory. It's hard. The buying's the fun part. And then you realize you have to work. Hold on. I'm hunting.
I love it.
Miss George's, I don't know if you saw this in the chat, Julian. Did you answer her?
Yeah. The answer's no.
Yeah, I don't have nurses trying to come work for me either, I will tell you.
I don't know if I would hire most of the boys I work with.
Here it went. Vicky, List Perfectly is a cross-posting service, so it's a Chrome browser. So if you list on eBay or Etsy or Facebook, you can take your listing and very easily cross-post it onto other platforms. It like copies all the information over for you. I think, Vicky, I'm pretty sure you're really new, so you might want to get a handle on your one platform before you venture out. I say be very comfortable on one platform before you try and go add more. You could really mess yourself up. Jennifer Masters, $10 super chat. Shout out to my girl bosses getting it done. Super impressed with the masterminds at List Perfectly Empire. You ladies are what the American dream is about. That is awesome.
Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
All right. Here's Charlie for Miss Jennifer.
Super chat.
I love Charlie.
Karen's asking, how do I change my personal eBay to business? Karen, it's just an option. I switched my account over. You can change from a personal to a business and you won't lose your listings or anything. It's just in the settings you go and change it to a business account. And you don't lose anything though. Yeah, Terry's saying, and I want to highlight these because I don't want to just have like the good about HiBid. Terry said she just had a bad experience with an auction house on HiBid. Most of the pieces were chipped or cracked and not disclosed, and it was her fault for living too far away. Auctions are as is, guys, and personally, I like it when they do crappy pictures and don't disclose it, because I'm going to get a better deal, but I'm taking a chance that those pieces will be damaged, just like Terry's saying. But that's how I get so many cheap things, because if they took amazing pictures and showed you everything, guess what? The price is going to go up. So I prefer auction houses that do crappy pictures, and there's like one picture of a giant box, and it's gambling, it's for sure. But if it's cheap enough, or you see one item that'll cover the cost of it, it's kind of a calculated risk. But that is my preference, and I never go preview. And I do get stuff that's broke, but like very, very rarely have I still lost money. I think if you have enough built in there, you're still going to make money. But that all auctions are as is, where is, that's what an auction is, at least not like eBay. Obviously they could still come after us for not as described, but your auction house is where you're going in person or you're bidding online. If you read that tiny little print, it says as is, where is, and it is your responsibility to check it. So it is part of it, but I don't expect perfect with all of mine, and it still is. I make a lot of money off of there. I'm reading now. Everybody's talking about high bid in here. I'm seeing.
Have you ever went and actually viewed one of them for high bid where you thought you
never?
Never?
Even if they're close, never.
Really?
And like, I'll tell you, like my $6,000 Judith Lieber purses were a high bid buy from up in Pennsylvania. I paid up. I paid $800 a piece, but they sold for $3,000 a piece. But that one, they had amazing photos. They had amazing photos from every angle. So I'm not gonna go spend $800 or $1,000 on one item that they have crappy pictures. But the Harley pens that I paid $600 for, they were all blurry and you couldn't even see them. But I thought I had like 300. So I was thinking, okay, I bid $600, $2 each. Even if I get $10 each, that's 5 times my money. And I ended up getting 650 of them. But those pictures were horrible. They were like out of focus. I couldn't even read the word Harley on them, but I could see there are hundreds of Harley pens. That one was in Texas. So, I mean, that's where, like, if they had shown them up closer and in better detail, that auction could have went well over the $600 I paid. That's where I'm happy that they take crappy photos. I don't know. I don't know if anybody answered this in the chat. I know as of June 1st that you are paying the promoted fee on everything. And that includes, I believe, shipping and taxes now.
Oh.
That is a new change as of June 1st. And I did get asked several times, is that going to change how I promote? Because I do promote high, and the answer is no, because I still buy low. So I have enough room in my business model for that extra few percent that it will cost me. But that is a change everybody should be aware of. Promoted now is not only on the item cost, it is on the total sale, just like fees are now. So they are getting a little bit more money from us. But I'm okay with that. Like, that's almost like the paying for these services. Like, I'm paying eBay fees because eBay's bringing me millions of customers, and I'm happy to pay them that. Like, I could not have found a buyer for two $3,000 purses by myself.
Yep.
So fine, I'll pay them $500 per purse. I paid $800. I'm still making over $1,500 per bag, and like, but a lot of people want to focus on, but that's $500 in fees. It's crazy. But I never would have found that buyer. I never would have found that buyer if it weren't for eBay.
I want to share a pearl of wisdom from Clara. I learned this from Clara. Clara always told me, focus on the money that you're making, not the money you're spending. And it'll change your business life.
Yeah, for sure. This is a good question. Terry's asking, will List Perfectly ever allow integration with WorthPoint? And I think what Terry's asking is, and I've never seen their sell similar options, but I will tell you, I have copied WorthPoint descriptions, especially for artists, for paintings and stuff. That's what I use it for. So I think they're asking if there would ever be a way to like take a WorthPoint listing from that 10-year history and integrate it in.
So we love WorthPoint. WorthPoint is an actual partner of List Perfectly. We love them, but the thing is that we would need to work. Okay, Amanda, the non-technical partner, excuse me. Okay, Mandy would need to code stuff, okay, to make that work. We're not saying no, we love WorthPoint again. We just would need to talk a little more with the WorthPoint executives and of course Amanda. But I know Amanda can make it work. Mandy, build it, Mandy.
Well, I'm gonna say the same thing I always say. If it's really important to you, please send us a feature request, and we have an integration section right there, and we do pay attention to that.
Yeah, and Terry, I see you asking again about InkFrog and integration. We did answer your question earlier, so you might want to watch the playback. I think that was one of the first questions that we did ask. So we did answer it. I don't know if you asked and then left and then coming back, but we did go over it. See, Dave is saying Whatnot is a huge time commitment. And I agree. And I don't know that I have that time because I want to go boating now because I joined a boating club. Instead of Whatnot, I might choose to go fishing.
It's a pretty good trade there.
I know.
I agree. Yeah. We are. So the cool thing, Thursday's Brad's birthday. So we did our on-water training. So now we can reserve boats. And so I didn't even realize, like, pick a plan like 4 days of the week. Well, I picked a plan that didn't include Thursdays, which is Brad's birthday. But they have, like, you can go off your days 6 times. And I emailed them and they immediately approved us for the exact boat we wanted in 2 days, which is cool. So we're going to see if we can go find some grouper and some sea trout and we're going to cruise. We're going to cruise. Clay, my good friend, Clay has been around since the beginning of my channel. He said he's not a big seller like Kat or his buddy Brian, but he's learned in 3 years to start on one platform. If it's eBay, then Poshmark and the others will be easy. eBay is a little bit more of a learning curve. They do want more information from you. And finding a local store to sell to is also a great thing, especially with clothes. If you can find clothes cheap for $1 or $2 and take them to a consignment and get immediate money, there's tons of different business models that you guys can do. And yeah, so Clay, here's your dolphin. Super chat. There's another person, and again, I know a lot of my co-YouTubers are pushing Flip, but I have not tried them, but I have heard from multiple people that they don't like it, and all I know is what I use, and I use List Perfectly. So if you want to try it, try it. Here's another one saying they've tried it. And I hate knocking anybody, but I am 110% with Clara that you get what you pay for. So yeah. Vicky asked this. I don't know if any of us have, and if any of you in the chat could help her. They're asking if anyone has experienced fees from eBay instead of payments. Vicky, the only thing I could think of is that if you ship via FedEx or UPS, or the global shipping program, they bill you 2 weeks after you ship it. That's the only thing I could think of. I don't know if anybody else in the audience might be able. Julian, can you think of any other reason?
No, but that FedEx thing got me. Or no, the UPS thing got me because I wasn't used to that. And I shipped out a ton of golf clubs, like 30 of them. And I was like, and then 2 weeks later, it was like, whoa, why don't my money
took $300.
Oh, yeah, it was insane. So that's the only thing I can think of.
Miss Sarah said she has a question for the ladies. If she ends eBay listing and sells similar in a new item number, does she have to enter that number into List Perfectly manually for each listing, or is there a way to do it automatically?
Mandy, all yours.
Yeah, this is actually something really important. The short answer is yes. You would have to update your LP listing with that item ID. It's actually pretty simple to do in the Express Editor page. If you have business or pro plan, you can quickly go through and just, find your item, update the item number, and, move on with your day. But, we actually, I know a lot of people do the end listing and sell similar. And if that works for you, that's great. But what we found is more successful with most sellers. We actually don't advise doing that because it takes a long time for eBay and other platforms to kind of register your item on the site, push it out to the internet, get it kind of in the system. And that takes time to marinate. And when you end and sell similar, you might get like an immediate burst of, hey, look, this is a new item, and it flashes on that page, but it's a temporary burst. And you might actually get a better bump by just revising your listing. And that's what we advise people to do. Try revising your listings first. Change some stuff up in your title. Maybe move some pictures around. Look at your description. I can't tell you how many times Clara and I would look at old listings and we'd be like, wait, why did I say it was green when it was blue? And, it's little things like that could, honestly, we would find problems in our listing. Like, no wonder why this didn't sell. We just did not describe it well. So we recommend doing that. But of course, do whatever you think you need to do for your business. You will need to update that item ID though.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of ending and relisting, and I say that over and over because I feel like my time's better spent putting new inventory. I could see doing it maybe if you don't have inventory, but if you have a pile like I do, and like a lot of people in the chat have been saying tonight, get new stuff listed. I will occasionally drop the price by a penny on everything. You can bulk edit, and that just kind of refreshes the listing to eBay, or you can increase the price by a penny. Yes. Just a simple change if my sales are real slow, but I probably do that twice a year because you're getting that same movement in your store by listing new items as you are ending and relisting. So I wouldn't do it unless you have no inventory. That would be the only time I would do it. But again, everybody has their different business model for sure. And if you want to do it, I'm not a big fan of that. Teresa is saying, I typically list an eBay sold item from another. So I'm going to let Clara tell you, but I'll tell you how I do it because I am a sell similar. I do all my listing on eBay and then I import it into the List Perfectly catalog and then out it goes. But Clara said there is a way to merge from a sold listing on eBay, right, Clara?
That's right, Kat. My favorite. This is my favorite. And I challenge you, Kat, please try it once, okay? So what I want you to do is start your listing in LP and then cross-post to eBay. What you're going to find that Mandy made LP play very well with the AI from eBay. So what you're going to do, Teresa, you're going to go and shop around on eBay for your favorite listing with the most item specifics you can find, okay? Then you're going to leave that window open. You're going to go to a little feature in our extension. You can say to List Perfectly, copy this List Perfectly from your catalog into an eBay or any tab that is open with a listing that you just sell similar, right? Poshmark does it, Etsy does it, eBay does it, right? You just shop around and then List Perfectly will merge your listing from LP with the sell similar from eBay. What you're going to see is an incredible gain of reduction of time because now you're not going to need to do item specifics in List Perfectly automatically because eBay now has such a powerful AI. You're going to find that maybe the few things that you need to auto popular is going to be automatically suggested by eBay just by you clicking that option that is eBay giving you. So Mandy, would you like to add to that? It's my
I want to share the why because the method that Kat does is, you can do that. You can absolutely start your listings and finish them on eBay and then import into LP. But why would you want to start in LP? Number one, we offer templates. So, and that fills in the description box. when you sell, let's say if you're selling your own item, you can do a sell similar and it will copy all the details. It'll include your photos. But if you're doing a sell one like this, it's not going to give you access to that description. You're going to have to create your own title, and you will have to put your own images in. So the hybrid method that Clara talked about, where you have your listing in LP, allows you to upload the best quality photos that you have to our system. We're going to keep them in there. And it's going to be even better quality than what eBay will keep on their servers. So that's another bonus of listing first in LP. It's just that image quality. You'll be able to use the photo room background remover if you need to, and any of the other tools that we offer.
Perfect. I'm stuck in my, I don't like, you guys know, I'm stuck in my, I might try.
Whatever.
And that's why we build it like that. Stay with your style. But if you ever are curious, okay, to try something and measure and then see how it goes, if it ever happens, you know how it is, once every while we want to test new things. That's all I'm saying. But always stick to the listing way that fits your business's best.
Yeah, and you can mix things. That's why I like bringing on different people, because everybody does something differently. Some people, like shipping is done differently, listing is done different. Everything is done differently. Your pricing, your buying. That's why I like to do these 4-panel shows, because you kind of get different opinions on things. Miss Laura sent a $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Thanks for the informative live. My grandpa was born in 1900, and he always said you get what you pay for. I believe that 110%. I really think it's true. So, Miss Laura, here is your dolphin.
Super chat. Go, Charlie.
Go, Charlie. I'm so excited because where we're going out of, the river that leads into the ocean, there are so many dolphins in there all the time. So now I might have to update the super chat one with a real video that I took. That'll be my goal. Have my own real Charlie from the ocean.
Yeah.
You could train one to say that.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I have to go out in the ocean so much that I have to make friends with this dolphin and teach him to say it.
It's the only way.
I know I'm the only one selling on Etsy. When I bulk post from eBay to Etsy, can you do a bulk markup on prices? So you would have to change the price on Etsy. So my mom changes everything on Etsy up 30%. So whatever my price is, my mom multiplies it times 1.3, and that's the Etsy price. But you pick your price. Some people mark up on Poshmark as well. I don't, just for ease of use for my mom. I think one platform price change is enough for her. But yeah, you can change your price on the platforms, whatever you want. Hold on, I'm hunting. Diane's saying, if you have 24 listings ready to post, do you post them all at once or bank some? So this is personal opinion. So if you had 24 ready to post, how would you do it?
Okay, Diane, I'm just going to tell you by experience, I'm playing with algorithms from different marketplaces, okay? Instead of doing 24 at once, do just one listing a day, just make sure it's very good optimized, and that's what I recommend, or maybe 2, and make sure that you don't run out of listings that you have, so you can keep consistency. Consistency is key for these marketplaces to see that you're listing and then increase your visibility, your ranking, and then in that way sell more.
Yeah, and it really depends on how many you list regularly. So if you're listing, let's say 10 items a week, definitely do that 1 or 2 a day. But if you're at 50 items a week, try to spread that out. And over time, you'll figure out what days are better for certain items, what times are better for certain items, and then maybe play around with that as well. But I am definitely agreeing with Clara that it's better to space them out than push them all at once.
Yeah, I list a lot, so 24. Like this would be like by me personally. I'm dumping all 24 because I work. The next day I'm going to do another 20, and the next day I might do 35. So really, but the concept there is still the same. You're consistent. Maybe if I was going to go on vacation and I still have vacation mode on and I had already banked 24, I'd probably let 3 go, like 3 a day, 4 a day, or something like that. But me personally, I don't bank a lot because I constantly am listing. I usually only will take maybe one day I won't get listings in, and no more than 2 if I'm actually working. Like if I go somewhere, it's totally different. But so yeah, consistency is key, but I'm dumping all 24 at once.
I would dump all 24 as well because I'm a heavy lister like Julian. Like I'm doing like 50 a day. I might do like 10 to 15 myself. And then I'm activating 25 to 35 for my listers because I have 3 people that list for me now. So I have to review their titles, do the research and the pricing. So like 35 to 50 a day for me is not irregular right now. Especially now my daughter's going bonkers over she's like, can you list the other ones I've already done? Like she did like 50 or 60 just yesterday. Wow, so like she's making it where I have so many drafts I'm not even listing myself right now, which drives me crazy. But I'm of the opinion that if I do the work, I want it to be seen now because I did it. So I want it to be on the marketplace available. So I hate like having all the drafts. Like I have over 100 drafts in bank right now. But that's why for me, I'm going to do as many as I can because I've still got more. But if your 24 might be all you can list for the week, then I would divide it by like 7 days, and do 3 a day. And because the consistency is key, but if you're going to list another 24 tomorrow, then I would say dump them all. And for me, the only time I pay attention to time and day is if I'm doing auctions. Like I think I have 30 on auction right now. And that's because some license plates, I could not find out like where they were from. They are foreign license plates. So I put them on auction at the lowest I was willing to take. And then I also have quite a bit of Barbie stuff. And I did the same thing, put them on auction. So those, and somebody asked me like, as far as auctions, which I don't do a ton, you have to figure 30 out of 5,000, like less than 1% are auctions. But I will do on Thursdays, you can do a 10-day auction and you get 2 weekends in there. So I'll list 10-day auctions on Thursdays. And then other than that, I want like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday at night ending time. So I would run a 7-day starting them then.
This is the best.
Vintage Tammy Trueheart. Can you give me a dolphin just to irritate my I'll give you 2. Here you go. Super chat. I'm gonna give you another one. Super chat. Ha ha. Now there are dolphin lovers and dolphin haters, and people that love me hate my dolphin, and I'm okay with that. You don't have to love the dolphin. You don't.
Leroy likes the dolphin.
Leroy does like the dolphin, so we can annoy Tammy's husband even more. Hi, Leroy. There's another dolphin. Super chat. Somebody, where did it go? Where did it go? I had it and now I lost it. Cheryl, it was Cheryl and Tina. So Cheryl said she doesn't know how we keep up with it. And Tina is asking, how do we keep up with it? So Julian, do you want to answer this and then I will?
Sure. It's a lot. It's you have to really do your time wisely is the best thing I can say is that like today we had some cool content coming out that I filmed today, completely opposite of like what I usually do. But like I also got up at 5 a.m. and shipped all my stuff out because then I had to go ship that because that's key, eBay pays the bills. So then you go out and you do your content and you come back and some days it's like it's work and all of it's work. YouTube is work, reselling is work, and that's what you have to understand is like I think all of it is work. So it's fun, don't get me wrong. I enjoy what I'm doing. But you really have to put the hours in on both aspects. So it's just a lot. Like it's just a lot of work. but it's fun.
It is, and I'm gonna agree. And as the channel grows, the comments grow, and I am still. I will answer every comment. I have gotten to where if it's just a statement, I will like it and heart it. I don't respond. Trying to get myself better at that, like where I don't feel the need to respond to every single thing. So if you give me some emojis, I'm gonna like and heart, where I used to respond to that. So I, as the channel has grown, have had to decide what I'm responding to. All questions, I definitely still am. I got a planner, and I used to just do a month planner. Now I've started doing the weekly, like we're day by day. So for me, I kind of have a routine in the morning. I will get up. I actually answer all my comments first thing in the morning. I'm trying to make myself not do it more than in the morning and at night, because I find myself pulled like answering comments all day, and I'm trying to like centralize that. And then I remove all my sold listings on List Perfectly from the other platforms that have sold on eBay the day before. It's a lot of juggling, and especially for me, because I have the people listing now. So then I will make my drafts active for probably an hour or two in the morning, and then I do it at night as well. And then we have to ship every day. We have 1 day handling. My husband, I've gotten better about letting go of some of that. He's been shipping with me for years. We've been together since before I started this reselling. So if I like have to edit a video, or if I'm working on drafts, he's totally fine if I'm like, I'm going to work on this, you can ship. And he will do it. He's perfectly fine doing it. It's me letting go of that control and like letting him do it. And then like I need to get Julian, I think, has gotten better at like he'll edit videos all day one day and have like his videos for the whole week. And I don't do that. So like my video for tomorrow is not even made yet. So I have like no content ahead, and I would like to get to that point. So for me, like
batch editing.
I thought I was going to like do it tonight after this, but like reality is I'm not. I'm going to probably go in, like I'll probably make some drafts active and hang out with Dalton and then go to bed. But it's a lot. It is like, it's like 2 full-time jobs between YouTube and eBay. We have 2 full-time jobs, and it's just figuring it out. Like, there's no easy. Julian, I think with his batch stuff, I think that's a good idea, but I don't do it. I should.
Yeah, because you shoot because I go out and I shoot a lot. I'm always at like yard sales and.
But see, I do what sold, so like I couldn't do like my what sold ahead of time, because I do what sold every Monday, and I can't. Now my research videos is where I could like bank some up, but I would have to take like 1 whole day and just be recording, and I don't know if I have the like concentration to like sit and do one thing for that long. I think I would.
I have like a whole. I put out my shirts too, so it doesn't look like I wear the same shirts for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think I still have some in here. I've had them.
I always change my shirt.
I change my shirt.
You got to. Because the people will see that for a whole week. They'll be like, "This guy hasn't changed his shirt in a whole week. Like, what is he doing?"
Yeah, but we're making all the videos and what? Yeah, I've started where I will. But I'm waiting on somebody to say that, like, do you not own other clothes? But I do them, like, sometimes I'll do 2 or 3 in one day. Charlie time. We have time for one more question, guys. I'm going to find us one more. And then we will go. Oh, I don't even know who. Hold on. Let me see who's on next week. I don't even know. Dun, da, da, da. Oh. This will be fun. It's Scott Cha-Ching King and Rachel Strickland again. That will be a fun show.
Yeah.
Nice.
That will be a fun show. I was going to wear my Scott shirt today because I got a really cool shirt from Scott. Okay, I would like you ladies' opinion, Julian's and myself on this one. So Gina says she has over 300 listings on eBay. Sales are super. When would be a good time to use List Perfectly? I list on eBay and then I copy it. She's copy and pasting onto Mercari, and she would like to list on other platforms.
Well, it's up to you. When is the right time to sign up for List Perfectly? Anytime is when you are ready. Is when you're ready to grow. And just know that if you're going to sign up with List Perfectly, we're a sales accelerator. So you should be thinking, where am I going to get inventory next? So anytime is a great time, whether you are a beginner, an experienced seller. The most important thing is that you're doing it because we are a monthly subscription and we're not tying you up with cancellation fees or anything like that. So then you have the freedom to sign in 1 month and just do what is best, okay, for those 600 plus listings. And then maybe you decide whether you want to keep, growing your business, or maybe you take holidays.
Yeah, I'm going to say anytime is right to start with LP. And I even say, even when you're just starting out, because if you do the work of creating your listing and you can store it somewhere, that's like a safety thing for me. I put a lot of work into my listings. Like when Clara and I would create a listing, we were very thorough with our listings, and we really embellished every listing. And that was important to us. And so any chance that a listing could get lost, and we would lose listings, but on the marketplace, we would never actually lose the listing because we had a backup of it on LP.
It seems like since they said that they're ready to start, like, go out there, and they've seemed like they've done good on eBay, and they want to go ahead, because that's my major thing, is like start with one and get good at it, and then with listing and shipping and all that stuff. But I also like how List Perfectly is a monthly thing, so you can just try it, and they don't it's not like a year subscription. Like I did a couple year subscriptions, not for cross posting, but for like a lot of YouTube stuff, and it's like, wow, this is a whole year of this. And then you realize like you don't like it and you should have done something totally different, but you're like 2 months in and have 10 more months. So that's a really good thing. But I would say if you're ready to start with other platforms, like now's a good time.
Yeah, I would agree. Like you're already copying and pasting yourself. So like List Perfectly will save time because it's going to copy it for you. That's what I was doing at first as well. What I would do, because 300 isn't a ton of listings, I would start List Perfectly and I would take
She comes back.
I was spinning. I didn't want to talk when I knew you probably couldn't hear me. I would take all 300 listings, put them into the catalog, and then you have all of them in there, and then you can put them out. And then as you do new ones, then you could either start them in List Perfectly or put them into the catalog. But I think that's a low enough amount. It's the perfect time to get them in there where it's going to be easier to delist them when they sell from the List Perfectly catalog. So I think now would be like 300 listings, pretty decent. You've got a handle on the platform. You're already copying and pasting yourself on a Mercari. So it's nice because it's, one click, you're going to be able to put it on to, like I do 4 platforms, whatever you feel comfortable. I do Poshmark, Etsy, Facebook. What else do I do? Is that it? Poshmark, Etsy, Facebook, and eBay. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know what I do. I might look into Instagram shopping too at some point. And my big thing, especially if you guys depend on this income, anything can happen to any of those accounts. Like none of us are like bulletproof. Like eBay could decide they hate us and we could lose it. We could lose that whole account. And I want to have a way to make money like immediately if I lose my eBay income. So for me, and I always say this, like I would probably concentrate more on Etsy because of the type of items I have. But like right now, I don't do the tags. I don't do all the stuff they like. But if I lost eBay, I would be going into all of my Etsy listings. I would be tagging them and doing that. So if you depend on the income, I think having a backup is a very, very smart plan, because if you lose one platform, you don't want to be devastated by that loss. Miss Gina sent us a $5 super sticker. I will give you a dolphin, and then I will let the ladies tell you goodbye. And then Julian and myself will tell you goodbye as well. So here is Charlie first.
Super chat.
I picked the wrong Charlie. That's what happened. I picked the wrong Charlie. I had to
I look
switch
at
it.
you, Charlie.
The bonus, Charlie.
And actually, you got a double Charlie. All right, let me hold on. I'm gonna click it on and click it off, and I'm gonna make Miss Clara big. Thank you, ladies, both for coming on with us. It was fun as always on here. And if you guys want to let them know, like, if I know, like, the Facebook group and like Instagram and all that, and if you guys have stuff coming up, the podcast and all that, definitely let them know. Here is Miss Clara.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Kat. So every Friday we go live at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in YouTube. Also, we have a very active Facebook group where you're welcome to post about your questions of related to List Perfectly or reselling. And then also we have Instagram and TikTok. And that's our main channels.
Well, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to chat with all of you. It was so much fun. I can't emphasize enough. If you are new to List Perfectly, you come on over. Just reach out to us. Sign up for an onboarding class. And if you're an existing customer and you want to chat with us, go to our help section. We're here for you. We're 24 hours a day. We'll answer your questions. Just come on over and reach out with any questions you have.
Perfect. All right, Julian, what do you got going on? Anything besides every other day?
Oh, we got some new content coming out. It's really good. You're gonna probably in a week I get it. It's gonna be a lot of editing, so it's gonna be totally different. And really, thank you, Clara and Amanda, for being here. It was awesome, awesome information. Actually, I just sat here. I actually have a notepad right here, so I was actually taking little notes here.
Julian's taking some notes.
Yeah, you know it's serious if I start writing stuff down. So it was really good, awesome chat. Kat, again, thanks for not firing me.
All right, guys, I am doing a high dollar what sold. I realize I haven't done one in 6 weeks because I kind of got on the research video train. And so I will do the last 6 weeks of my sales over $50 for you guys tomorrow with a screen share so you guys can see the items up big. And then Friday will be another research video. I don't know what on. I have not decided. I keep saying I'm going to do license plates, but I've got to be in the mood for the research videos and like want to do it and be excited about it. And I'm listing so many license plates. I'm not super, maybe if I find a high dollar one, that'll motivate me. But I think the highest so far has been like $100. So I need to, I want like a $500 license plate to be in my listings. That's what I want. So I will see you guys tomorrow at 8:30. I see Sean requesting ladies vintage watch.
Yep.
I have a long list, like this long of tiny writing in my notes of different topics. So I kind of look through there and see what I'm feeling like the day before, and that's what I do. So we will see you guys next Tuesday. Now I already forgot. Who'd I say?
Rachel and
Oh yeah, Rachel and Scott. Cha-Ching King. Yeah, which Cha-Ching King came to my last learning camp. So I got to meet Scott in person, which was great. And Rachel is amazing too. So we will see you guys with them next Tuesday. Thank you all for watching. Amanda and Clara, thank you again for coming on. You guys have a great night.